So to start, I like to read the cards from left to right, and first I'm going to start with your 5-card story. So those cards are the 6 of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords, the Chariot, the Lovers, and the 7 of Pentacles. Now, first, I just got to point out the 3 sevens. I'm not too well versed at all in numerology, but something about it feels lucky to me, despite like a lucky break. That's what I get, like getting away from a situation that you're happy you found out about something before it was too late. That's the vibe I get anyway. But I see, in some ways I get the energy of someone taking something, like taking something physical, material from you. They're like underhandedness, whether it's actual stealing or getting away with taking money from you, more than their share, more than they're supposed to get, or trying to get something from you, whether I feel like it's an actual item or money, at least coming into December. There's a feeling like of having been robbed, and in some ways I get the story, which is not a very nice story, of someone who's had the plans to kind of have a happily ever after, or they're very excited about something, and then either right before it happens or right after it happens and you're still in a happy state, there's this thing, this information, or someone kind of coming in and taking that away from you, whatever that might mean to you. It could actually be a third-party situation just in general, because in this particular deck it's very expressive, and in the 7 of Swords you do have a couple, and then you have this other woman looking back, and there's how do I say it, like a shady, there's obviously a shady quality to it, there's secrecy there. It could be something about that you found out, whether that's you who's involved in the situation, or you just found out about the situation and it's just affecting you. Who knows? General reading. But that is what I'm getting from the 7 of Swords. I do feel like the main energy is moving fast and forward, and maybe in a chaotic way, like you have a direction, but you don't know exactly how to get there. You're kind of just taking every road imaginable because you just want to move forward, and you kind of want to move back into a place that is much more pleasant. It's almost, I also get a vibe of rug sweeping, potentially. So like if something happened, you may be almost willing to just sweep it under the rug so that you can go back to having your fantasy story. Potential for some of you, anyway. Because the Chariot, I mean, here I'm seeing the Chariot like moving forward to the Lovers in this case, and this Lovers to me is more about an actual bond. Usually the Lovers is more my sexual card than anything else. It's intense connection, I would say. Not as intense as the Devil, or if it were paired with the Devil, but still intense on its own. And I feel that there's a movement towards that and away from the 7 of Swords, which is somewhat of a betrayal, underhandedness, someone taking something from you, an energy that you don't want to be around anymore. And then what's interesting to me is the 7 of Pentacles is usually a waiting around card, like waiting for things that you have put effort into to kind of bear fruit, or just simply waiting for something to happen because you think it's going to happen, or you feel like you've done X, Y, and Z and it should happen. And again, it's just you're not really taking any action. In this case, there's something about the woman that feels very confident that something is going to happen. And I do have to say, I never really see the 7 of Pentacles as a pregnancy card, but there are some decks that have imagery that you know, show something else. In this case, the Seven of Pentacles does obviously look like a pregnant woman, mostly content, picking a fruit, and that could be the case for some of you. There could have been this little blip that you're willing to overlook, move quickly past, say your vows, get married anyway, and then have a child. That could be the case for some people, because that did register, and I have to say it. And again, there could be that case of someone taking finances or something of value from you, and I feel like they have gotten away with it, but it's almost, yeah, I'm trying to gather. I'm just gonna observe for a moment, see if I can elaborate on that particular story a bit further. It's almost as if someone hasn't done it, actually. When I keep looking at it, I keep seeing eloping. I keep thinking about like you or Virgos taking something, running with it, and, you know, kind of manifesting their goals and hoping that now they can get what they want. I get that vibe with Seven of Pentacles too. There is an element of got away with something, but then by the end of it, you're content about it. Because again, the Seven of Pentacles, I just don't see it in my standard form. I feel like this woman is just satisfied with what she has achieved, or this person is satisfied with what they have achieved, and they achieved it quite suddenly and quickly. I feel the Chariot is, I feel like this Chariot is just flying forward. Yeah, and then by the end it's like, oh, okay, I got what I want, I'm happy. And it's possible that January is some sort of waiting period, because you expect to gain more out of the situation. Very strange. I'm trying to figure out the words that makes some sort of sense, so I apologize if I don't make any sense. There's an element too of stealing, even though people don't really get stolen. It's not like someone actually steals someone's husband or steals someone's girlfriend or boyfriend. There's an element of stealing or coercing a person that was partnered officially with someone else and then running away with them. That's the main thing I keep getting. And maybe the Six of Pentacles in some ways is, it is feeling like scrounging up money in order to do this. Anyway, bizarre. So, if I don't make any sense, hopefully it'll make sense in January. I'm going to move on to the week by week. For those, I pull up 2 cards for each week that represent the overall theme. So, I like to read them first for the most part, so I'm going to do that. First week, we have the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, Ace of Chalices. For the second week, we have the Empress and the Ace of Swords, and it's number 4, it's the Emperor, but in the Manga Tarot, there's a bit of a reversals in gender. So, it is the Empress in this deck. I particularly see her as like a warrior princess. More like an emperor, but at the same time feminine. Anyway, just letting you know, in case those of you who know tarot very well and don't know this deck, and you're seeing number 4 and you're wondering why it's the Empress. For the third week, we have the Chariot and the Five of Swords. For the fourth week, we have the Six of Wands and the Three of Chalices. Okay, so for the first week, interesting. I have my card of, sometimes it's my card of isolation, because you feel kind of abandoned, left out by friends, family, maybe even short on money in some cases. In this case, I feel like I'm seeing the Ace of Cups, or Chalices, sorry, more as a release of emotions because of this sentiment. Because the Ace of Chalices does come up for me often, not necessarily always as the beautiful love or new love, not to be negative, but sometimes, depending on what's around it, it comes up as overwhelming emotions for whatever reason, and you can be feeling that way just overall this week. And it can be from maybe having to beg for money for whatever reason, or because even in the story I get that sense of pleading, needing money, needing to be gifted money, or needing to take money from others. And that could leave you feeling just overly burdened with too much emotions that you can't necessarily keep within, so you might find yourself crying a lot, for instance. But then by the second week, it feels like a 180, because we have my warrior princess, the Empress here, and the Ace of Swords. So I feel like this is where some form of clarity of thought, reality hits, and you feel like you have the answers. Like last week, you were probably overburdened with emotions, and then the week after, you see and understand what it is you have to do, able to wield a sword and pretty much charge forward and do whatever it is you need to do. So I feel like there's action, there's power, there's confidence, and there's a willingness to stand up for yourself, to move forward and get what it is you need. Because it's just, I get the image of little light bulb clicks on, everything's okay, this is all I have to do, I'm gonna do it, it gets done. And then the following week, and then we have our lovely repeat card, which I love when it happens between two decks, and it seems to flow well because here I get the movement forward, and it's very similar because it's next to the Five of Swords, so I do get the vibe that this is the point where you have the little clarity of thought the previous week, you know what you have to do, feel confident, you're wielding your sharp double-edged sword, and then the next week you're charging forward, moving very quickly, maybe erratically, but still moving forward. And I get that you're moving away from this deceptive, trickery energy. And it could even be actually a situation too where you're moving forward and taking the win however you can take it, even if it's like, how do I say it? Even if it's not, I want to say honorable, even if it's not an honorable win, you're running with it and taking it as a win because it's as if you need to do it regardless of how it might impact other people. Thinking, see if I could see anything else with these two. Yeah, it's almost as if you feel like you have to do something at whatever the cost is. Even if, like, for instance, some people end up disliking you because you gained something or got something through dishonorable methods. But either way, I think you're going through with whatever you think you need to do in order to charge forward with the energy of the Chariot. And then by the last week, I mean, I feel like whatever methods, whatever path you decided to take, you're feeling victorious. You feel like, I got there. People are all crowding around you and cheering you on. Seriously, you're gonna have people crowding around you. But you're feeling like a winner. You're feeling like a champion. You're feeling like you got to wherever it is you wanted to be. And by the end of the month, there's celebration, there's success, there's drinking, partying, with lots of people, or whatever your social circle is. There's just a sense of victory, I think, by the end of December. It's you've made it through this, whatever this Five of Swords and Seven of Swords energy might have been. Even if it's something that you ended up getting away with, by the end of it, I feel like you get away with it. And it just feels, the energy feels a lot more joyous by the end of December, which is suiting because it will be the holiday season. And one thing I'll say overall, even though I'm not a big fan of the 7 and 5 and the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, the majority of the overall energy is positive, which is like, thank goodness, because I think the world knows just what the energy has been like the past few months. So I find it quite refreshing to see cards like the Lovers and the Chariot and the 7 of Pentacles towards the end of the month, along with the 6 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Cups. I also feel like maybe you're actually getting recognition from your friends. Maybe you've escaped some sort of situation you just didn't want to be in, and just gonna make up a story. As a for instance, a shady partner, abusive partner, something like that, and in order to get away from them, you know, you have to wait till they're sleeping, or wait till they've gone on a trip, because that's the vibe I was getting with the 5 and 7, that even though it was underhanded type tactics, there was a reason for it, and it like had to be done in order to move forward. So I get that story of someone, you know, waiting for the other person to just go far away so they have enough time to pack up and then move far away and escape. I mean, lovers can be a choice as well, and there is something about the 7 of Pentacles here too that doesn't mean the person has to be pregnant, but there is a freedom vibe from the 7 of Pentacles. Like, she's there on her own, she's relaxed, she's just picking fruit from nature, and, you know, feels a bit carefree, which is not, I never say that about the 7 of Pentacles. I just like this particular version of it. And then again, even in the weekly, you have victory, you have celebration. I get a sense of being able to relax, being able to get freedom as well. And that there are people that were rooting for you, the people that were around you that wanted you to do something, and then you do it, and they're very happy for you, almost waiting for you at the finish line. I get the sense of you're on the horse, you're coming in, and you're like telling your friends, I did it, I'm free, I got X, Y, and Z, and they're all just cheering like crazy. And then you guys just pretty much hang out and celebrate your achievement, whatever that is. And for the advice, I would say with the 10 of Pentacles, it's what I'm getting is just keep yourself grounded, focused on your physical well-being and health, which is strange, I get that here. Focus on keeping yourself steady, especially if you do plan on making some sort of big move in the way that this warrior princess empress will do. And potentially just keep your finances in check too, because I feel like whatever it is you're doing involves some sort of need for money. But that you'll get it. So I wouldn't worry too much.